Hi, we've got two more tutorials to do for chapter 4. So this first one is creating the color theme application. So in this one, we're going to have radio buttons to where each one represents a different color. We're going to do four, which would be yellow, red, white, and then the last one is back to normal. Okay, so you can see how to work, how to set these up and everything. So this one we're creating from scratch. So we're going to start um, Visual Studio and do a new project. Name we're going to give this is color theme. Well, we got to get this picked out first. There we go. So color theme is the name. My hands on the right keys would help. And then we need to navigate to where we're going to save this. This is already set in where I'm going to do this, so I'm found there. Go, select the folder, and create. Okay, this is going to be kind of small. I'm going to go, this time I'm going to switch it over to the 100%. So we won't have that problem that we had, if you remember in the last video, where the label for the text box ran over into the text box. And that was pre-created for me from the book company, and I didn't have any way of being able to fix that without just redoing the whole thing, which I wasn't going to do. Okay, so got that set. And I'm going to squeeze this down a little bit. We don't need it quite that big. So the name of the form is going to be color theme. Okay, so that shows up here. You can't see it very well, but it's there. Okay, then we're going to do a group box in here to put the radio buttons in. So I'm going to go to Toolbox, and then this is going to be under the container section down here, and then we want a group box. So just double click on that. And then this one, in order to move it, you got to grab the little box up here to move it down. So I'm going to set it up here, and then I'll resize it when I need to. So the text for the group box is going to be select a background color. So that goes in there. Okay, then what we want are 4 radio buttons. So with that selected, I'm going to go to my toolbar, go to radio button, and do this 4 times. So got all those in there. Looks like I'm going to have to make my box a little bit bigger here. So drag that down. And then those vertical bars help me on getting these, make sure they're all lined up nice and neat. So I'm going to have to go a little bit further yet. Make sure I have enough room in here for all of them. Not crowded them up too much or anything. There, whoops, there we go, that looks, whoops. Get that set in there, come on. Okay, get that set in there. Okay, so now what we want to do is go ahead and get the names on these. So I'm going to click on the first one here, and the text that we're going to put in for that one is going to be yellow radio button. Oh, I'm sorry, the color is going to be yellow. That goes down here. But then the name of the button, because we're going to use it in code, is going to be yellow radio button. Next one down is going to be red, and so its name is going to be red radio button. And we'll go down and change the text to red. Next one down is going to be white. So text first would be white. and then white radio button. And then the last one, its name is going to be normal radio button. And its name or text is going to be back to normal. Okay. Those all seem to fit in there pretty good, so I'll leave it that way. Last thing we need on the box here is going to be our exit button, so we just need a button. Down here. Text is going to be exit. And the name is going to be exit button. Okay, so now we got all that set up. What we want to do is go ahead and put in the code for this. And then the one thing I didn't set up is that the back to normal button here, we want the checked on here to be true for that one. Okay, we can have one of them selected. We cannot have more than one true. If I change another one to true, that one will be changed back to false. Okay. So we got that set. So we're going to go ahead and get our code put in here. And so we're going to double click on the yellow radio button. And we get a yellow radio button underline checked changed, which means if we change it, this is what's going to be executed here. So we're going to do an if statement in here. If yellow radio button dot checked as a property, then this dot back color equals color dot yellow. Okay. And then we just go back to our form and double click on the red one. I'm going to do the same thing. If red radio button dot checked, then this dot back color equals color dot red. And I saw all that fills in for us on there. And then we need to do the next one. Got two more to go. Our white one. Same thing. If, whoops. Back up here where it's supposed to be. If our white radio button dot checked, then this dot back color white. And then our last one is our normal. If normal radio button dot checked, then this dot back color equals, and this one's going to be a little bit different, I believe. This one is going to be system colors dot control. Okay? Because the background color, the normal background color, is from the system colors and it's control. Last thing we need to do that is our exit button. And this dot close. This dot close. Okay, so let's start this up, see what happens. go. So we click on the yellow. Notice that this is what's highlighted there. We get the yellow background, click on the red background, click on the white, get the right background, and then back to the normal color. Everything seems to work. Our exit button works. Great. Okay, we got one more to do. We'll do this here next, and it's creating the time zone application. So in this one, we're going to list 5 different cities in different time zones. We're going to put those into a list box, and then the user can click on one of them. And when they click on a specific one, we'll specify in a label what the time zone is for that city. Okay, so we're going to start with a new window. So we're going to go do a file or a new project. So we're going to new project. We're going to call this time zone and get this picked out over here for me. Find where we're going to save this. It'll be right here. I'll use the 2025 because it'll create its own folder in there when we do that anyway. So I don't have to, if I do another folder, then it's going to be a folder inside of a folder. So this way it'll just be the program inside this folder here. Okay, this is going to be squeezed way down. About like that. May have to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so we're going to have a label across the top. This kind of gives instructions on what to do. So we'll put that in there first. And I'm going to change the auto size. False. I'm thinking about if I want to do anything else with it or not. I don't think I will. So let's just go ahead and put the text in here. And the text is select a city and I will give you the time zone. And I'm going to pull this over so it shows the whole thing here. There we go. Okay. So then the next thing we want to do is put in a list box for the cities. So go to the toolbar again, double click on the list box. We'll position that down about in here. We'll put the cities in there, and then if I need more room, I can make it bigger or not, or squeeze it down if I need to. So to do this, what we want to do is go to the items collection. And this will open up like this. So we can just type these in. Denver, Honolulu, Minneapolis, New York, and San Francisco. And I'm hoping I'm spelling all that stuff right. Okay, so once we get those all in there, then we just click on the close button or the OK button. Now they're all in here. Everything works good. I can squeeze this down a little bit if I want to. And then move it. It's pretty good center-wise and stuff anyway. Okay, so then we need 2 labels. Okay, and these are going to be one to put the time zone in and one to specify a label for that so the person who's doing this knows what they are. So I'm going to double click on both of those. The only property that's going to be the same on this is going to be the auto size as being false. And then I'll move these over a little bit this way. Okay. So the one on the over here is going to be a second to get this. It's just the text in there, but I'm going to go ahead and put the text in first. Oh, can't do both of them. Click off and do the one. So the text for this is time zone. And then I'm going to do the alignment as middle right. And then this one is going to be the label for this. So I'm going to change we need to change the border style, because if we don't, when it's empty, you won't be able to see it. So again, I'm going to use the fixed 3D. You can do the fixed single. There won't be any text, and we're going to do middle center. So go down here, delete out the text, and set the alignment to middle center. Okay, and then we just need an OK button and an exit. Okay, so this is going to be our OK button. So the text in here is going to be OK. And the name is going to be OK button. And then this one here is going to be our exit button. So the name is going to be exit button. And the text will be exit. And that takes care of our format. Okay. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and get the code in. And the code's going to be for our, oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I forgot something. I remembered it this early. And that is the name for the list box, because we're going to use that in code. It's going to be called City List Box. Okay. So now we can go into our OK button. We're going to have a string variable called city. And we'll do some nested if statements here. So if city list box dot selected index does not equal -1. -1 means nothing was selected. So if it does not equal -1, then city is going to be equal to city list box dot selected item dot toString. And then we need to figure out which time zone it is, so we do that by using a switch. And then we're switching, looking for the city. So that city is going to be our main variable here. We're going to have a case. HONOLULU for Honolulu. Put a colon at the end of the case. And then in here, it's going to be time zone. Whoops. Okay. Looks like I missed putting in a text box here, so let's get that in here. This is the label here, time zone text box, or time zone, what do they call it here? Time zone label. There we go. So now we can go back into our code and time zone label dot text is going to be equal to HAWAII, Honolulu, ALEUTIAN, Aleutian. Okay, and then we put in a break so it doesn't run over, and then we'll go to do our next case. Next case is San Francisco, colon, time zone label dot text going to be equal to Pacific, and then our break. Next case is going to be for Denver. Time zone label dot text is going to be equal to Mountain. Break. Case Minneapolis. And time zone time zone label dot text is going to be equal to Central. And break. And then last case, New York. Time zone dot text equals Eastern. And then we'll put a break on that. Okay, so we're going to end that if statement, and then we're going to do an else. Oh, sorry. Do this. There we go, because we need to end the switch in order to do the else on the if. So else, we do a message box. Dot show. Select the city. Okay, it's messing up on me here, so we've got 2 quote marks in the front, semicolon at the end. Okay, so that's the whole thing there. So this is how the switch works if you haven't followed that along, and getting selecting items out of the list box. Remember that the -1 means that nothing had been selected. Okay, so let's go back and do the exit button real quick. So we got that working. Let's stop close and let's run it and see what happens. See if I spelled stuff right. Oh, got an error someplace. Left a semicolon. No, I didn't. There's one right there. I don't see where I missed any semicolons. Oh, should not be a semicolon there. That's what the problem is. No semicolons. That should be a colon. I must have missed the shift key on there. Okay, let's try it again. Nope, still got another error. Missed the parentheses. Try it again. Usually, oops, got another one. Okay, so I got too many curly braces in here. Looks like this one here shouldn't be in there, so we'll take this one out. Actually, this one here is wrong in here. Okay, so those match. Okay, there's the if, switch, and if, else. Those two match up. We need one in here for that one. And then we got those two, so then this one needs to come out. There we go. It looks like we got them all now. Let's see if that's got them. Sometimes you have to go through and match them up, especially when it creates the ones for you. So I'm going to click on OK. There's where we get the error message, select a city. So I can select Minneapolis, OK. Cancel Central, San Francisco, Pacific, Denver, Mountain, Honolulu, Hawaiian Aleutian, New York, Eastern. Okay, so that one all seems to work. The exit button worked. So that was the last tutorial for this chapter. So I hope this stuff helps you out on getting through the if statements, switches, and all that type of stuff. So, bye.